Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is January 16th, 2021, and you can find this We're Going to a Con This Weekend podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and every other goddamn podcast place you can get the podcast. Anyways, you can find me on Twitch, failing at video games at twitch.tv/MarcusB814. And you can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's NickVern. And this week's episode, we're excited for this week's AIE Con. That's right, it's a convention all about AIE in our giant and awesome and super welcoming community. So we're going to break down all of the ins and outs of it. There's no guests this week, but Marcus is here, and so am I. And Marcus, what have you been up to?
So we're going to do it really quick, briefly. We're not diving into too much today. This is just basically the hype
For
stream.
the con.
Yeah, for the con. So basically, you know, we've been working a lot in the backgrounds trying to get all the things ready for the con this weekend, which is January 22nd through the January 24th, which we'll talk about that in a minute. So real quick, gaming's been going good. I just celebrated my daughter's 5th birthday, which was fantastic. Tomorrow's her big old COVID birthday parade. And yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I will be there.
Yes, you will. Doing that, I've been streaming a ton. I actually got some stats. So Twitch sent us this like end of the year, like 2020 thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started streaming in April, like late April. So I have, hold on, God damn it. Total hours watched was 1,716. I got 178 followers, and I streamed for 237 hours, which was pretty sweet because, you know, this came from nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just woke up one day and I was like, Nick, I'm going to stream. And he's like, go!
Zen
Hey,
Swan.
Zen Swan, thanks for the follow. Sorry. It's
Zen-
going to be a complete... I didn't
Zen-
even think to turn off the notifications, so this could go crazy.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah, Zen is one of my teammates on Power 2.
Oh, boom. Power.
Shout out to Zen.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, so after about a year, it's awesome that I've accomplished this, and I'm pretty excited for it. So we started streaming. Hard mode Duxon has been happening.
Mm-hmm.
We killed the second boss, and we killed the Power Rangers last week, which was awesome. So I owe all my stream tonight. We'll be doing a giveaway because after the podcast, I will be doing a giveaway because we cleared the boss for the first time, but it wasn't live because I was in Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that Shroud of Memory mission. Remember I was talking about that, how it was fucking broken.
Yes.
The last episode.
Yes.
So I finally did it. Dude, it was so fucking awesome. And it was fun. And I laughed my ass off. And somebody got sucked out an airlock, which I didn't expect. Spoilers, but it was awesome. Yeah. What have you been doing?
Well, it's only been a few days. Has it been a few days or been like a week and change since we recorded last? I feel
it's almost 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So I have done a little bit of gaming, nothing too crazy, a little bit of Call of Duty. I've done a lot of things to like prep for that new job. I don't know if I talked about that last episode. That I officially
You did, but you didn't say when you're starting.
So I've found out I'm starting the new job February 1st, which is sooner than I was expecting. I thought I was going to be stuck in the ER for a little bit longer. I'm pretty pumped about that.
That's like right around the corner.
I know. It's 2 weeks from like Monday, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I won't have to be super stressed out in the crazy ER anymore. Get a little more money, a little more time to play video games,
Well, and
all
a
the above.
normal work life balance.
Yeah.
When you go from working 4 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, this day off, all those things, you tend to it's hard to plan your weeks, where this job you're working 8 to 5 or whatever the hours are,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. You're going to get out of work and you're going to be done, and it's going to be like it's going to be Friday for you, not like Friday, but it's like, oh, I got to work tomorrow and Sunday.
Right. It's like
That
I
makes
have like real tradition, like actual weekends, not like, oh, like Tuesday and Wednesday this week are my virtual weekend because I work Thursday, Friday,
Yes.
and or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing you're going to have to go through a whole bunch of training.
Yeah. So I got an email from my manager, my new manager, I should say, saying like, hey, you can wear either scrubs or business casual. Show up here at this time at the office, and basically your whole first week is going to be online training.
Wait. What is business casual?
Like a button down with like pants that like are supposed to look nice that are not jeans, and then shoes that are kind of dressy, essentially, that are not sneakers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you got to order those pants that I saw on Instagram where they look like they're dress pants, but they're sweatpants.
Yes. I need you to send me the link immediately.
Yeah, no shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, button down with pajama pants would work if it was a Zoom thing, but I actually have to go into the office, so
See, I don't wear pants when I'm live.
That's
It's just more
fantastic.
comfortable. It's like I'm flying an X-wing right now.
What do they call them? The foils? Are they open or closed?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Always open.
Always open.
Always.
Always ready to attack.
Well, that's sweet. So you're going to be in training for a week, and then you get to getting. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, you better figure out like a strict like gym.
I know. I'm going to turn into.
Because you're going to be going like burning like 6,000 calories a night at the ER to like burning 2.
Yeah. Well, you can't hear it on the podcast mic, but I'm typing. Just typing and clicking.
Yes.
Once in a while. Hi, this is Nick from the Clinical Trials Office. You're eligible for one of our trials. Would you like to come in and get your blood drawn?
Yep. It's totally shit. My headset, of course, is dying.
That's why you got to get a wired one.
It charges. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are those the damaged ones?
No, these are the damaged ones are on the wall. I don't even know if they're actually damaged, but they stopped working when they fell, so I didn't really try to make them work better. I just said I can't be without nice gaming heads.
So what did you
headphones.
buy?
The same exact ones.
The 933s?
No, the 635s or whatever it is. The same thing, but the wired version. Just because they didn't. I wanted to get them immediately, and Best Buy around here, nobody had the wireless ones.
So what made you go with Logitech again?
I like it. I love those headphones.
Yeah.
All my peripherals are Logitech. My keyboard's Logitech. My mouse is Logitech. My speakers are Logitech. Only thing that's not is my monitor, which I think I got as a hand-me-down from you for free. But that's the same. But it works great because it's Asus, and so is my laptop. So, I just like Logitech everything.
So I do agree. So I had a Logitech keyboard forever, and all of them. And then I tried this Razer keyboard. This is the best keyboard I've ever owned. Okay.
Yeah.
These headphones, these Razer headphones, I hate them.
Yeah.
I miss, but like the problem is that I find is all of the new Logitech headphones, the reviews on them are not great.
Yeah. I saw some of the newer models from like the 935s or the 6, and then like they don't look as nice. Like I like these because the strap is crazy light. Well, I'm not wearing them now, but the strap is crazy light, but the only bulk of them is like the headphone itself.
But it's so comfortable.
Yeah, there's like an inch of padding that's all nice and squishy around the outside. So
yeah, if somebody's trying to talk to you when you're wearing those things, you cannot hear them.
No, you hear nothing but the whatever,
Nothing.
but the game.
Right.
And there's 7.1 surround sound, so it's like you hear all the directions that you possibly want when you're playing any game.
Yes,
You know, they're super immersive.
I do. So I might buy another pair. I think the nine. See, this is what I don't understand. The 933 wireless Spectrums
Yep.
are the ones that I had that I gave you, but mine were the wireless versions. They finally died. The new version of them, which are like the 733s, those are like the new.
Yeah.
They're not rated as good.
Yeah. I don't
They
get.
say they're not as good and they're more expensive. I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me
Is it
either.
the RGB in them? And
I-
then there's like the Logitech Pros, but they say that they're not as good as the ones that you have and I had.
yeah.
So I will be getting a new set of headphones because these Racer ones are not.
They're not.
I'm not a
getting
big
it.
fan. No.
So spoiler alert, I was actually gonna get you new headphones, like the Logitech 935s or whatever, the
Yeah.
old wireless ones for Christmas, but I couldn't get them anywhere.
No.
So that's how
That's because
the
they're like 3 years old.
oh right. Plus everybody must be buying them. Like it was like they'll be in stock like in February. I was
Right.
like,
I
damn.
wanted the Logitech webcam,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, the one
Because
I have, I think.
yes, because yours is like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't nowhere had it in stock, so I had to buy the Razer Kilo or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not as a good of quality
Mm-hmm.
as the Logitech,
It's definitely
but
not.
that's okay. Anyway,
Back at the ranch.
yeah,
What were we talking
Your-
about?
your new job.
Yes. I'm excited, man. It's gonna be like when I get rocking and rolling, it'll be like half in the office, half like in the hospital seeing patients and interviewing them and stuff like that.
Well, it'll be good too because it'll give you a taste of that other side of the work
Mm-hmm.
where you may not like it.
Yeah.
You may be like, it's not for me.
That's
You
true.
know what
Like
I mean?
yeah. I mean it's definitely gonna be more boring. You know what I mean? It's gonna
Yes.
like the office part, just like filling in a spreadsheet of people's data of like their vital signs or like adverse effects. You know what's crazy? I didn't realize this until I started like talking to people in the department. When they're doing a drug trial, right? You have to report literally any bad thing that happens to the person while they're taking this experimental drug. Like if they get hit by a car, that's that has to get charted. If they're in a plane crash, that has to get charted. If they're like I don't know, trip and fall down the stairs, like if they cut their hand on a kitchen knife chopping onions or something, that has to get recorded. So
Well,
like
yeah, because that could be a side effect that you're like you lose
motor
like your
control
hand-eye
or something.
Yeah, your hand-eye coordination, and you chop off a finger.
Right. But so it's just weird, like things that you might not think are directly related have to get recorded, which is interesting. And then it's like, so that's where like that long list on the drug commercials where it's like side effects include headache, nausea, diarrhea, like increased likelihood of car accidents. And you're like, what the? That's where that
Do
comes
not
from.
operate a vehicle while on this drug, but you need to take this pill 3 times a day for the
Right.
rest of your life.
Right. It's like, okay.
So the side effects are worse than the actual illness.
Right. It's just to treat chronic runny nose, but it'll make you so dizzy you can't drive anything.
Right.
But I'm just making up something. But it's interesting. I'm excited.
So in SOTOR news, we got a surprise PTS update.
Okay.
Which was
exciting.
just out of nowhere. So it just basically said, hello, everyone. The PTS is now live. Players can experience changes to the amplifiers and uprisings. So the uprisings are a half a flashpoint. So they're meant to be done in like 10 to 20 minutes max.
Mm-hmm.
Where like a flashpoint is 15 minutes to like an hour. So basically they're just a different type of content. But nobody ever did them because the rewards sucked. It's like you ever do something and like you kill yourself to succeed, and then you get to the end, and you're like, okay, the reward wasn't worth the time invested.
Yep.
So nobody's been doing these, so they're actually updating these things to be better for people to experience, which is great. and then they're started working on amplifiers. So basically, they're trying to make it so it's easier to find which amplifiers you want, and how they work, and try to balance them. So, I mean, I have not been on the PTS.
Mm.
I probably won't, but it's pretty good. But other than that, it's pretty much
All of the SOTOR news. We have some Star Wars news that we didn't talk about. Do you want to chat about this now, or do you want to wait till later?
whoa.
This is pretty big news. So let's go through it now.
How can you not now?
So we found out today there's an announcement from Disney / Star Wars / Lucasfilm Games that
Wait, today?
no, not today. This week, yesterday, two days ago, whatever it may be, that Ubisoft will be making an open world Star Wars game. And that's a giant deal because for the past decade or so, EA has had exclusive rights to make Star Wars games. And now, since their contract is up, I'm assuming anyway.
2023?
No, it's gonna. I don't know when the release date was, but the Ubisoft is making a open world Star Wars game, 100%.
No. Oh, so you forgot the main part.
Oh,
So the main part is so they made an announcement that Lucasfilm Games is coming back. They did a small trailer which basically showed all of the Star Wars games that are currently live,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Galaxy of Heroes, The Sims Galaxy's Edge Batu thing,
Yep.
Fallen Order, Squadrons, Battlefront 2, SOTOR. They showed a bunch of these games, right?
Yep.
And they basically said, coming all new Star Wars games, Lucasfilm Games, which, if you remember, or LucasArts game, no, LucasArts or Lucasfilm.
LucasArts, I think, was the game studio.
Yes.
And then Lucasfilm was the films, obviously.
Yes. So they announced that happening. So basically, everybody was like, okay, EA is not going to have exclusive rights to Star Wars anymore.
Right.
Which, personally, I thought that was a right move anyways, because I'm not everybody. Okay. So in the beginning, EA sucked.
Yeah.
They weren't producing Star Wars games. They held the license. I think a big part of it is they were learning what was allowed for them to do and not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think they invested a lot of money into SOTOR, and whether they believe it was a success or it wasn't, I feel as if they just kind of, right?
Yeah, it was. They didn't hit it out of the park with it. They just sort of like sat on it for a while.
Right. And they did not invest the money into SOTOR that they needed to.
Right.
But anyway, since like all of that, like Fallen Order, that's one of the best single player games I've ever played.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
Like I had a ton of fun. Like Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 was ruined because EA was greedy.
Yeah. Absolutely. It ended up being a good game later, but then it had, not as many. It lost a lot of people it lost a lot of potential players,
Yeah, that's right. So then, you got Squadrons, which some people are calling the best arcade flight sim game there is.
Yeah.
Not Microsoft Flight Simulator, because that's just crazy.
Yeah, like an arcade style one. I know what you mean.
Right. And so now they make the announcement that Nick just mentioned about Ubisoft doing an open world Star Wars game.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to guess, it right now is when they like did the handshake, they signed the contract, we're going to do it, let's announce it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hype train.
So it'll be probably 2 to 3 years down the line, if I had to guess.
I would say 3 to 4, because if you think about an open world game is going to take some time, unless they had like a secret backdoor deal.
And they started
they've been working
already
on it, but they can't release it until 2023 anyway.
Oh, because when the EA deal runs out?
Correct. So
it.
the EA deal has to expire unless Disney is going to give EA an opt-out.
Mm-hmm.
and say, listen, you don't need to pay us anymore, like the licensing fee, except for the games that you currently have for the exclusivity,
Yep.
and just release it. I don't know. What do you think?
I No, I think it makes more sense that it won't come out until after 2023 anyway, because of the timetable to make a game. But also, it makes sense if the contract goes that long that they're not going to like cut it short, you know.
Yeah.
But
So then, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just exciting. Well, maybe this is the same point you were about to make. It's just exciting that it's opening up to all different studios. I mean, so like you can have games from like all the different studios now can get a crack at making something
Yes.
cool in Star Wars.
I
And
I
like it almost like puts pressure, like positive pressure on the studios to make epic Star Wars games, because if you don't make a great game, or if like whatever you're tasked to do with Star Wars is not epic, then like they just LucasArts games just won't let you make another game. And it's like that you screwed up your shot. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's
Or
great for us. Like that competition is great for us, the consumer. You know what I mean? Because then we just get epic games all the time.
what? So EA is acquiring Codemasters. Do you know who Codemasters is?
Mm-mm.
Codemasters is the people who make the Dirt series.
Oh, okay. Yep.
What if they make a pod racing game?
That would be great. I hope they do.
But that's what I'm saying. So like EA can't do everything from all the subgenres alone, right?
Right. Right.
They can't. So why not have it so everybody makes a little piece? And I don't okay, everybody's like, "Oh, this could be the SOTOR killer." And I'm like, "Well, I personally believe BioWare knew about this announcement. They've
Yeah.
known it's coming. They're like, "Look at your game is fine. We're just announcing that there's going to be an open world game." I'm sure BioWare wasn't in the dark on that.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
can't imagine they would be. Yeah.
The speculation that's going on right now is that it's an open world game and it's being made by the people who made The Division,
Right. It is.
which is an MMO. It's not an MMORPG, it's an MMO.
It's like a
So,
Destiny style one.
um I don't
Ish.
know if I would no, see, I don't know if I would put Division in with Destiny. I would
Okay.
call it almost like more like I don't even want to say a Borderlands, because you're in New York City or Washington D.C. and you take over sections of the city and you have your hub, and like you're doing stuff co-op, you're doing stuff like there's raids, there's PvP, there's all the things of an MMORPG,
Mm-hmm.
and like all the content is all instanced. So yeah, so you're like running down in New York City 34th Street, right? You're
Yeah.
running down the street, but when you enter the building, it's an instanced building. So not anybody can run into your story. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like SOTOR when you run through the purple door.
Right.
Um the question is if they make it a MMO or even just an action RPG like Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Right. Or like
What?
a Far Cry or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What timeline would they do it? So I would hope they wouldn't use the Skywalker era. I feel like it's time to move on from that.
I hope they do High Republic personally. Start exploring out, in that time frame.
Okay, so let's build on that. But then there's the rule of two. So there's no
Yeah.
Sith
Yeah.
unless they change the canon.
No. See, I don't know, cuz this Acolyte show that they were announced, which is supposed to be at the end of the High Republic era, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes an Acolyte by definition is one of like in SOTOR time, or like the Old Republic time frame, would be one of the sort of new Sith in that's like there's a lots and lots and lots of them, so to have an Acolyte in the High Republic area doesn't really make a lot of sense, because in that time frame it should be following the rule of two.
That's right.
And
Or is the
it's just,
acolyte another word for an apprentice?
right, that I don't know. But or is it like, would an Acolyte be like what Maul was for like Palpatine and Dooku, essentially. Like if Palpatine's I know it's not literally how that works.
Or Zaj Ventress.
Or Asajj, yeah. I got maybe those sort of
Now I
roles
want to play
would
with my
be
lightsaber.
you what?
Now I want to play with my lightsaber.
Well, grab it. Where is it?
That's right behind me.
Well, you should grab your lightsaber.
Yeah, it's then I'll end up taking everything out. I'll do it. Anyway, what I was trying to build on is, so what if it was during the Galactic Civil War and it's a bounty hunter game?
Oh. What do you mean Galactic Civil War? Like the
So
Mandalorian
during
Wars?
like when they, no. So when they were exploring, so during the like somewhere around the High Republic or even before that, when they were finding the Outer Rim and all this, there was a civil war inside the core worlds, and bounty hunters were everywhere because it was all like contracts to kill people and all that stuff. So what if this story is you're going to create your own bounty hunter, and you're going to, like, it's just bounty hunters, and you're going to go through and be a bounty hunter in an open world game.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, and so if you could mirror yourself after a bounty hunter, which one would you be?
Oh, I mean, okay, so off the rip, I want to be a Mandalorian, obviously, but like more realistically, I mean, in actuality, I'd probably like, if we're talking about in the Mandalorian show, I'd be like in season 1, that guy that like tries to trick the Mando, and he's just terrible, and he's like can't do anything properly. that would be me as a Mandalorian. Oh, there's the lightsaber.
Oh,
what'd you whack already?
What don't I whack?
That's true.
Anyway,
what would you? I mean, I would. So selfishly, I'd like to be some kind of Mandalorian because of the armor and stuff. But how about you? What would you pick?
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane would be pretty badass.
So he's got 2 blasters. He's dope. He's arrogant. He's always seems to come out on top.
Yeah.
I mean, except obviously when he's fighting Obi-Wan. But you know, I mean, let's face it, we can't mess with Obi-Wan, right?
No, you cannot.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, he's really good, and if we can, that's who I would want as mine, personally.
Is a Cad Bane?
Yeah.
But it would be cool to have a Chiss bounty hunter, like a Thrawn style brain as a bounty hunter.
Well, or just a Chiss bounty hunter, which you can in SOTOR, right?
Right. Yeah.
But see, for me, that would be a cool thing to be able to do, is if you could actually get have an open world. I just keep going back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where like you're like in the middle of ancient Greece, and the world is so vast, and they just make it like, because I wouldn't even care if it's open world if it's just on Tatooine.
Yeah,
the whole game is on
Coruscant or something.
Right. Oh my God. Can you imagine that?
I feel like
from
that
like
would
the
be
upper levels all the way down to the bottom levels.
right.
Like, whoa.
Like immediately on a speeder, and you're just like in the you have a quest. Go to the lower levels to investigate. You get like a contract, and you got to go kill like somebody in the Hutt cartel or something in one of the lower levels, and you got to go from shiny upper level like apartments or something into like the sewers,
like,
essentially.
Yeah, or like the game starts off and it like pans at the top city of Coruscant, and like it like goes down the toilet bowl all the way to the bottom, and that's where you start off in like ripped jeans and a t-shirt, and as a bounty hunter you have to gain your levels, and each time you move up a level in the
Coruscant hierarchy,
the Coruscant hierarchy, you become more badass
as a bounty hunter.
You know what I mean?
That would be cool. Ubisoft, I hope you're listening.
They're not, but that's okay. But I don't know. But do you think it would? Well, so now with the Mandalorian, I think it would sell because the Mandalorian is out, the show.
Right.
But do you think people would be upset that you couldn't be a Jedi?
No, I don't think so. But no, I don't think so because of how successful the Mandalorian is. Like, I think the Mandalorian really like let people accept that hey, Star Wars can be wicked cool without focusing so much on the Jedi. Like the Star Wars universe is cool even if you don't focus on the Jedi. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
do
think
know.
I think because of that, like then people don't have to. People will accept like cool Star Wars content that don't have Jedi centric characters. I mean, look at Rogue One. Same thing there. There's basically
Right.
no Jedi in that, and that's one of the best, most like critically successful Star Wars movies recently. Solo is also another example of that where there's basically no Jedi in it. Granted, that's not as good of a movie, but I'm just saying.
Well, Rogue One is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's because of that I know where the story's going
Mm-hmm.
and I know where it came from. So why I didn't need Jedi in it, but
Right.
you still had Darth Vader in the end. And just for the record, don't fuck with Skywalkers in hallways.
No shit. Oh my god, Luke fucked up all those droids.
Oh my god, dude! And I'm watching Rebels. Sorry,
Yeah.
sidebar. I'm
That's okay.
watching
This is a
Rebels,
sidebar
and fucking
episode.
and Thrawn is fucking Dark Troopers up.
I know.
He's like, yeah, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, he's like fighting Dark Troopers.
With his
Like, I
hand.
would not want, yeah, with his hands. Like, what are you doing, dude? He's like punching him, and I'm like, dude, you're punching a metal Dark Trooper.
Dude,
Come on.
Thrawn is a master of martial arts. He's a master of all of the arts. That's his thing. He
For sure.
analyzes all of them and uses them to gain battle tactics against his foes, including martial arts. He knows he's an expert in hand to hand combat.
I'm getting jacked up.
Yeah,
The G Fuel works.
that's a lot of G Fuel. I got it.
Well, I only used one scoop in the full bottle.
Yeah, but still.
Still the same amount of powder that I normally use.
Yeah. I'm realizing now that I can see myself how much I fidget with stuff while we're talking on the show. Like I'm just like clicking and unclicking the cap on my inhaler or this chapstick.
Yeah, dude. Well, you don't realize how much you do until you're live and you can see yourself. Dude, my legs fidget the whole time. I move constantly. I can't sit still.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to this. Star Wars, Lucasfilm, EA.
Yep.
You know, I remember back in like the KOTOR days, there was a new Star Wars game almost every year.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
there's
bring that back. Even if, like, how about this? What about Nick Arafino, right?
Yeah.
What if he had a good idea? He got to sit down with Lucasfilm Games and says, or LucasArts Games and says, hey, look at, I've got this really cool idea of a slingshot
platformer
droid game.
Yeah.
Platformer game. How much is it going to cost to make? $30,000.
Right.
Can I make this game? Sure. You got a shot, kid. And next thing you know, now some no name is getting a Star Wars game.
Right.
And what if it's a hit?
Yeah.
Right?
It should be.
Yes. So for me, it's more of, you know, I think the more people that can make a Star Wars game, the better. The big one right now I'm hearing is everybody wants Obsidian to make KOTOR 3.
Obsidian would be sick.
Well, Obsidian made KOTOR 2, the unfinished game. So KOTOR 2, in theory, was a better game than KOTOR 1.
Uh-huh.
It was just released unfinished.
Okay.
And they didn't finish the game.
Right.
Personally, I kind of wish BioWare would make KOTOR 3, but BioWare is going into
like
yeah. And they're going into their 10-year anniversary.
they got to focus on SWTOR.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the other big tinfoil hat is what if they rebrand SWTOR into SOHOR?
Star Wars.
The old the Star Wars, the High Republic.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, but they would have to change all of the lore.
Well, not if it's in the beginning of the High Republic.
Yeah, but there's still. When does Darth Bane take over?
I don't know. 1,000 years. 500 years or something before
Yeah.
the Battle of Yavin? If anybody's in chat and has that answer, oh wow.
When does Darth Bane take place?
September. Wait, 1,000 years before Star Wars. Before Episode 4. So yeah, so before the Battle of Yavin, it takes place 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they could make it like right before that, because it technically might still be the High Republic. I'm not sure. I don't know. And that's just speculation. But either way, it's super exciting.
I'm pumped about it. I couldn't be more happy to see like just more Star Wars content in the hands of other people, you know?
Yeah, I'm
not to say that like I like it's not to be down on EA, but like more companies like I said before, more companies making Star Wars games is just better for the consumer because it puts more pressure on each studio to make an awesome game. Otherwise, you won't get more opportunities to make Star Wars games, you know?
What about a Mortal Kombat Star Wars game?
Oh my god, that would be cool. Just side-scrolling fighter.
Yeah, like side scroll. Exactly, side scrolling fighter. It's just like Jedi versus Sith. Put all of them in it, and it's a $40 game. But why not?
That would be fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't that be done?
It should be. I mean, didn't I'm blanking on the studio that makes Mortal Kombat. Didn't they did stuff with DC to make
Yes. It was terrible because like Mortal Kombat is meant to be blood and guts.
Yeah.
And DC was like, no, you can't do it. So every like fatality was like a friendship.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know, at the end of the day, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but more games, the better.
Absolutely.
Pod racing. Anyway. So
do you want to talk about? I do. I was just going to say, do you want to take a break? Because then we can come back.
And I'll just talk to everybody.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're discussing the ins and outs of the legendary AIE conference. AIE Con. What? What's
you
so funny?
Hear that, can you?
No. Did you just fart or something?
I have like a 15-second video of Yoda talking about feeling the Force.
Uh-huh.
And you had no idea and you started talking about it, so bring us back in. I was laughing too hard. And we're back. Oh my god, you're eating on stream. I can't believe you're eating on stream.
What do you mean? I wanted a snack. I got dragged into this.
You didn't get dragged into anything.
Kicking and screaming, dragged into this.
Right. This is way better than whatever you were going to be doing.
Watching football.
Oh, you're going to watch the boy I love losing Super Bowls, the Buffalo Bills? Like, come on. Like, who gives a shit? Like, guess what, bro? You'll be able to watch the fucking highlights in about 2 hours. And guess what? They blew it. Or they won. Guess what? Who cares? They're not our team.
All right. Well, still, I was vaguely interested. Fuck.
Well, you know what's funny is I've been seeing like the Bills Mafia throwing like
people through
now
tables.
The new thing is like they're taking newborn babies and they're like making these like paper tables and smashing their babies through it to like they're like breeding them into the Bills Mafia. I'm like, oh my god,
that's fantastic.
What a stupid way to like be a team fan, smash people through fucking folding tables.
I actually kind of like that. That's funny to me.
Well, yeah, especially
I don't like the Bills,
so
but
wasted.
Yeah, they just get absolutely wasted and jump through tables and do ridiculous shit for the Bills.
I'm so happy they're winning. Yeah, I think it's awesome that they're winning. I think it's awesome that the Patriots suck. I do, because it makes us all normal. Like, wow, this is what it's like to suck.
Yeah, to be most of the rest of the NFL. All right, do you actually want to redo this or leave all that in?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Let's go.
All right, 3. And we're back. So today we're discussing the ins and outs of the legendary AIE Con, the AIE conference, the conference of AIE.
So
where do we start, Marcus?
All right, so I will just say, so the AIE Con was created by all the officers in the guild. We decided that we wanted to host something because with all the stuff going on in the real world, like PAX East is postponed, this is postponed, there's nobody getting together. Whoa, Doc Sotor with the subscription.
Dr. Gameology.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Gameology. I can't believe I just did that. Did I call him Dr. Sotor?
He sure
I
did.
did.
That's
Oh
just
my
terrible.
God, it is terrible. He should unsub now instantly.
Insta unsub. That should be a notification for unsubs.
Yeah, we've
It was
been
like some Sith thing or something.
Yes. So we were playing Final Fantasy 14 last night, which was really sweet. Yes. All right, back to this. So we decided that we're going to create something. Doc, it's okay. This is what happens. It's a live show.
All the happens every live show. We get distracted by the chat.
We just get distracted. It's fine. Then we're just going to move on. So anyway,
yeah.
The AIE Con, we wanted to bring everybody together and do things that we don't normally do. So like, what do? We're a gaming community. We play all the games, but why not bring in casual games like Jackbox, board games, Dungeons and Dragons. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So we're going to today. So it's this weekend coming. It's January 22nd through the 24th. And it's going to be amazing. Nick, do you want to give us the update?
I do. So update. Sign-ups are now open for board game and Dungeons and Dragons sessions. The schedule below has been updated as well. So you'll want to visit the new hashtag AIE CON Winter 2021 Discord channels for sign-up procedures for the various sessions, which are slightly different between Dungeons and Dragons and board games. So referencing the schedule, you can find it at AIE-guild.org. And go to the Discord page for the signups, and I'm sure you can find all this information on the homepage as well. So AIE-guild.org.
Yep. So we just wanted to have this little show about hyping this up. So basically, there's a schedule that you're going to be able to see. As an example, so opening up the whole thing on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a guild town hall. And, basically explain what the guild is, what do we do, blah, 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 what to look forward to. And then from there, almost like a keynote from like a regular con, you're going to have your keynote, and then we're going to get right into the con. So on Friday night, at 9 p.m. Eastern, there's going to be a joint podcast with Max and Seema from the Escape Podcast and
Working Class Nerds.
Boom. Yeah, so we're gonna do a live show. I think we're gonna be on the new Overlords channel, which is Max and Seema's, because they have all of the overlays and everything all set up for it. So then we don't screw that up, essentially. And then I'll figure out a way for us to record the audio for us, or I'll just ask Max to send us
the audio files,
and we'll do it. So basically, we're going to be there. It's going to be a live show. We're going to talk about everything going on in the con that week and everything else. So then starting at 8 p.m. Eastern is the first session of the board games. What's the game, Nick?
Oh, the board game is called I forgot what it's called.
Forgotten Waters.
Forgotten Waters. Thank you. We just played it last night, and I already forgot the name. Forgotten Waters is a pirate-style board game where each player, I think, I don't remember what the minimum is, but it works pretty well with us with 6 people or so. You are a pirate in a crew, and everybody has different roles to like make sure that the ship keeps afloat. And essentially, you go around and like go on like a pirate quest, and you try to solve, like get more supplies, or like raid different towns or different ships, or not, or you can choose to fight or not to fight, and you're constantly vying for higher infamy within the crew of other people playing with you. So your infamy goes up or down based on whether or not you do badass pirate things. And if you're the highest infamy person, you get to make decisions for the whole group. So you're constantly wanting to be, get a leg up on your crewmates, if you will. It's very fun. We played for was it 2.5 hours last night?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. The what I liked about it is it's a complete change of pace.
Mhm.
So you're rolling dice, and it's essentially a video game, but it's on paper.
Right.
And everybody picks a pirate, and personally I was the skeleton pirate, and
I was the all-seeing pirate.
Arr.
So I was a little psychic. Arr.
Arr.
I went with
And,
the name Three-Eyed Vic.
I was Dwayne.
I thought you were Dwayne.
Dwayne, sorry.
Not Dwayne.
Yeah, so then the first session of the Dungeons and Dragons with Bach, which is the DM, that's going to start at 9:00, and the second session is going to be at 9:00 at the same time with Cadavari. There's going to be 2 styles of Dungeons and Dragons. So the one session is going to be for more like of an experienced Dungeons and Dragons player. And then the other session is going to be for like a new player, where it's going to be like an hour-long campaign or maybe 2-hour campaign, but it's going to be condensed and like to be able to teach you how to play and make you feel comfortable and all those things. So basically like it's an intro to Dungeons and Dragons, which is pretty sweet for a new kind of thing. Then at 11:00 p.m. on Friday, we're going to have it's going to be the open sessions of all the casual games, Jackbox, Among Us, stuff like games like that, where it's like party games.
Yeah.
And that'll be all of Friday. Then Saturday, there's so much going on. At 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a board game panel. So Albus and a friend of his know the people who make plaid hat games. Remember Mice and Mystics?
Yeah. They make that game.
They know those people.
Oh, no kidding.
And the guy who made Forgotten Waters is going to be on this panel talking about the game.
That's so cool.
That's right. Awesome. That's what I'm saying. I think that's fantastic.
That's so cool.
So that's 3 p.m. on Saturday. Then at 7 p.m. on Saturday, we have a indie game panel. So our good friend Nick Arafino has been nice enough to say that he's going to come on and talk about what it's like to go from no game experience to making a indie game, perfecting it, going to the cons, and then publishing it live for everybody to purchase. And then depending on how many people are there will depend. I'm hoping to be able to gift a few of the games away to people who are there for the panel. I'll get a few copies on Steam and be able to gift a couple out if we can. Also too, Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern, we have more casual games than the Saturday night version of Forgotten Waters, which that's the one I'm going to personally be playing, is starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be a 3-hour block. And then we have, again, on Saturday day and night, you have 2 more Dungeons and Dragons. Then Sunday, to close out the con, all day there's stuff starting from 2 p.m. all the way on. You're going to have more sessions,
more board games, more Dungeons and Dragons.
Correct.
And how does it wrap up?
So we're going to wrap it up with the AIE podcast is going to be at 8:00 p.m. They're going to do their normal show. And then right after that, they're going to have a closing event, which they're kind of being a little secretive about it because I don't even know what's happening for the closing event. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, me too. This is going to be great.
And signups are available now. I'm sorry, everybody. My headset is dying. And
you want to plug it in?
Well, I got to find the cable because I lose everything.
Yeah, if it's not in the tub for the podcast, you lose it.
Well, no. I packed it for this weekend, and I just don't know
where you put it.
Yes. Anyway,
quite all right.
So please do.
This is so cool that I just think this whole concept is awesome. That there's an entire weekend of cool things to do. like as if you were going to be going to a con yourself. Like there's different things for different people. You can hop between sessions of things if you want. It's the entire weekend long where you can just get involved with people and, to play video games with your friends or people or strangers even. It's I almost like the concept of, like, last night I don't think I'd met Balto before or Lucy. I think I'd met Lucy before. I wasn't super close with the people that we played with last night. So it had a sort of like convention feel where you just sort of walked up to a table and everyone had open minds and everyone's like, hey, let's just try to play this game together. It's almost like if you just walked up to and started playing an indie game at a booth at PAX or something. It was the same vibe where you're just coming together as a community and you just get to play games. And I think having this the entire weekend is going to be so fulfilling for people that participate,
Right. So I would just say to everybody, if you're interested in playing, I would sign up, because I would hate for you to wait until the weekend and all the time slots for Forgotten Waters are booked. And I would hate
your SOL.
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would hate to see that. So please, if you can, get in the games, sign up, and or even if you get in the chats and sign up and say, like, I'm a maybe, just so, like, even if it's a full team and you put up there and you're like you're the emergency backup and you can get in, or if you just want to play some crazy, just simple games, play the Jackbox. I think it's a web app and they're just party games.
Yeah, the Jackbox games are great. You never played those before?
No.
Oh my God, it was the best in college. So you could, the Jackbox games, one of our friends would have his game. He had like a gaming laptop set up to the TV, and then all of us would just chime into the game on our phones. We'd answer various questions, or like the controller would be your phone, and when you're like trying to, as like a side scrolling thing or something, it was awesome. Or you could hook up controllers to it. But there's some crazy games in the Jackbox games. Answering questions about your teammates and stuff like that.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to say it one last time. It's this week, January 22nd through the 24th.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And please go to AIE-guild.org, get the information for it, sign up. And lastly, it'll all be either live in Discord or it'll be on Twitch, my channel or somebody else's channel, or it'll be all hosted through the AIE Guilds channel as well. All of the events. I know myself, I will be streaming everything that I do except probably the podcast, just because, well, I'll host Max and Sema just because of everything happening. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some kind of like pics channel, like cosplay, pets, pictures of your pets. That's going to be happening throughout the con. I think there's a channel for it. So like during the con, when you're doing stuff, you'll be able to post pictures of what you're currently doing.
That's pretty awesome. I'll definitely try to get involved with the Pics channel. Put on my Moroccan Jedi robes again.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.